Opening comments.
Thank you, Chair Kiggins. I look forward to working with you on the Oversight and Investigation Subcommittee as its ranking member. I believe we, as members of this committee, have an obligation and a shared responsibility to ensure that the VA is succeeding in its mission to provide veterans world-class health care and benefits that they have not just earned, but that they deserve. But the title of this hearing and the Republican majority's approach to this topic makes it clear to me that not everyone in this room takes that responsibility seriously. It is clear the intent of the majority is to undermine the VA and its mission by vilifying and persecuting an important asset. The hundreds of thousands of public servants who show up to work every single day to serve our veterans. Let's keep in mind that a third of VA employees are veterans themselves. The end goal of their vilification is the privatization of the VA for the profit of Trump's billionaire bosses. So I want to suggest a more appropriate title. Perhaps this should be more like Unaccountable Billionaires First, Veterans Last, the Musk-Trump Agenda. In the 18 days that Trump has been in office, he has gone on a chaotic rampage to make the federal government a hostile workplace for its employees, for its 3 million employees. Trump wants to either fill those positions with MAGA operatives and loyalists or outsource contracts to his billionaire bosses who were lined up right in front row at the inauguration. Folks, that doesn't feel like it's about our veterans. It's not about accountability. It's about profit. And Trump is not even hiding it. On January 31st, he said in the Oval Office, after sending federal employees a buyout email identical to the unelected, unaccountable President Musk, who sent to his former Twitter employees and said, quote, "It's our dream to have everybody almost working in the private sector." Trump and Musk are the definition of horrible bosses, and they're using the bad boss playbook to push public servants out of their jobs. For those VA employees listening, look, I want to say this to you. I know you have figured this out yourselves, but do not take deceptive offers. Stay in the fight with us. We need you. Our veterans need you. What Musk and Trump are doing to the federal workforce through various executive orders, OMB memoranda, and tweets is demeaning, is shameful, and is threatening. And their actions are going to have dangerous impacts for our veterans. Because within hours of being back in the office, Trump ordered an across-the-board hiring freeze at federal agencies. After the outpour of confusion, of concern, and Trump-inflicted chaos VA employees experienced, Trump eventually gave into the onslaught of pressure from Democrats and exempted some VA healthcare positions from the freeze. Let me be clear. Despite our advocacy and pressure, there are still thousands of vacancies for jobs at the VA that will go unfilled. These jobs are mission-critical claims processors, disability examiners, maintenance workers, environmental management technicians, food service workers, just to name a few. The VA cannot deliver the benefits our veterans have earned and deserve without these people. Patient safety cannot be compromised because we know what's going to happen. Veterans are going to suffer. But that's the whole point, right? That is exactly what Trump and Vance want. They want to cripple VA so they can sell it off piece by piece to the highest bidder. The greedy billionaires sitting in awe in the front row at Trump's inauguration stand to turn their billions into trillions at the expense of federal workforce, everyday working class American taxpayers, and ultimately veterans. I want to make myself very clear. I take our oversight responsibility very seriously, and in my role as a ranking member, extremely seriously. Since I joined this committee, there have been several investigations into employee wrongdoing that came to our attention, and they were alarming. We heard hearings last Congress that touched on issues at the VA Central Office, Hampton, Loma Linda, Eastern Colorado, Buffalo, and Mountain Home. In each of those cases, the Inspector General and VA identified wrongdoing, rooted it out, and disciplined the employees in accordance with the law. It is a misrepresentation of the law to say that VA does not have adequate legal authority under Title V to hold employees accountable. VA discipline employees under Title V every single day. And I have no problem with holding employees accountable, and I implore the VI to do so to ensure veterans are receiving the best care and benefits they deserve. What I'm not going to be standing for is illy an excuse of my colleagues across the aisle as they complicitly work with the Trump administration to abuse their power, subversion of due process rights afforded to federal employees, and the deconstruction of the services and programs that provide veterans the benefits they have earned and they deserve. And look, if we want to have real conversations about accountability at the VA, let's have it. I'm at the table ready to talk. And I know that my colleagues are as well. Let's talk about ensuring that veterans get the benefits they promise. Let's talk about improving training for HR and supervisors. Let's talk about breaking down reporting silos for employees to disclose mixed conduct when they actually see it. Let's talk about our expectations for leadership when issues arise at a facility. Let's talk about ensuring VA staff work in an environment that empowers them to put veteran safety first. When we have a president who removes over a dozen inspector generals charged with being independent arbiters of truth and transparency in government in the middle of the night, I find it hard to believe that this is the party that is truly interested in making the VA more accountable for veterans. So with that, I want to introduce our minority witness today, Mr. Donald Sherman, who's going to be joining us from Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington, or CREW. And CREW's ethos is Americans deserve a democracy that's ethical, accountable, and open. I couldn't agree more. If there's an expert on government accountability out there, it's you, Mr. Sherman. Thank you for being here, and I look forward to your testimony. With that, Chairman, I yield back.